she says, I will not be worried about dressing up because I am fat and unattractive to a man. She said, I started gymming because of a man, not anymore. So that definitely comes to the place where a woman starts to define her identity by how she expects a man to view her, as opposed to her seeing herself. Because I've seen her, she's beautiful. She's actually a beautiful girl. But she had this complex.
And my other thing about it is this, you know, we're talking about this earlier. I think that if a man's going to cheat, he's going to cheat regardless, you know. And it brings to mind again the, you know, well, many other issues where you have two women and then one, you know, a guy is married to one woman and then leaves and, you know, checks up. And everybody's blaming the woman. And I'm like, no, it's actually the guy, because nobody can steal you. Nobody can take your man. You cannot take somebody if they don't want to be taken. So it's like, you know, that brings to mind becomes to mind when this issue comes up. Yeah.
I think the other thing is, if we're going to talk about cheating, is that cheating is not an issue of somebody else's inadequacies. So a man doesn't cheat or a woman doesn't cheat, as the case may be, because the other person is not attractive enough or because the other person isn't good enough. Cheating and every other similar indiscretion comes from within the person.
Definitely.
It's the person's insecurities, it's the person's need for validation. I mean, people have said several times that men cheat because they're already getting something at home, they want something more exciting outside, or, you know, whatever variation
side
of that.
A little side snack.
But, come on now. But the thing about that is that the only reason why you need to go outside to get something is because you couldn't get it from within yourself in the first place.
True. Yeah. And also, I mean, you know, talking about, like, she says, I'm going to stop gymming for a man. She actually calls herself, what?
Fat and unattractive.
Yeah. Okay. And you see, I think that it's one thing to say that someone's cheating on me and someone stepped out of the marriage to find something, whatever it is that they're looking for. It's another thing to say, I think that it's because I'm a certain way. So you must first believe that you are a certain way. And that's the reason why you're being cheated on. And I think that in itself is a problem. You know, I think she probably has to deal with some of these sort of security issues.
So for me, it's like looking at her and the fact that she's actually a beautiful woman and she's actually hardworking and she has everything going for herself from the outside. The only thing that was then left to bug her was the way she looked. And I realized that a lot of women have this body dysmorphic syndrome where you see yourself as a certain way that is different from the way you should see yourself. I have friends who are big and confident and beautiful and they don't, even if they do deal with some insecurity issues, it doesn't affect the way they carry themselves because they're able to find their identity. And ultimately, we realize that looking at the man who's cheating and looking at the woman who's feeling hurt, there were, especially in this story, there are cases of insecurity on both sides.
Yes.
And the real solution to that really is to find your identity in Christ, because if looking for external validation doesn't help.
It doesn't help at all.